Good evening, I'm Jose Cardenas. Tonight on Horizonte, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona are looking for adult mentors. Learn how you can make a difference in a child's life. Plus a group giving young adults the skills and experience they need to get a job, and the importance of Latino genealogy and family archives. Find out how you can trace your family roots. All this coming up next on Horizonte.
Funding for Horizonte is made possible by contributions by the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona is an organization that helps children build their futures. Currently, they're looking for volunteers to help mentor kids, particularly Hispanic males. Joining me to talk about this is Brandy Devlin, Director of Community Engagement at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona, and John Paul Adan, a Big Brother and Program Specialist at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona. Thank you both for joining us on Horizonte. Brandy, let's start with you. Would you give us a thumbnail sketch of Big Brothers Big Sisters in Arizona?
So Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona is part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters National Network, which is a 100-year organization. We've been in the Valley. We just wrapped up our 60th year, and we're the largest, most effective, and oldest organization in the country that focuses on mentoring.
And you are part of a national organization. The subject we're talking about tonight is also a problem for organizations across the country, which is you don't have enough male volunteers.
Exactly. So we have no problem bringing female volunteers in, but it has been a historic problem nationwide bringing male volunteers in. And I think it's because they think there's a large time commitment and financial commitment. And there really isn't much of a commitment like that. It's really a commitment to a child.
And John Paul, as I understand that the statistics are you've got about what 70-30 in terms of the kids and percentages of Hispanics and vice versa.
Right. About 40, I think 45% of the kids on our wait list right now are Hispanic. And as far as being matched, do you know the number of how many Hispanic kids are matched, Brandy?
No, we have fewer than 50% of the kids that are matched are Hispanic. Just right around,
okay, so
just a little under 50%.
So John, what's the problem? I mean, you've done it for years, and we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of the little brothers you've mentored. Why is it so hard to get males involved?
I think that, like Brandy said earlier, I think they're just afraid of the commitment, that it's going to take up all of their time, or that they're not going to be able to, have the time to commit to a child. And when I did it, I was actually working 2 jobs when I first became a Big Brother. So I know that, you can make that time, you can include them in your normal everyday activities and just kind of include them in your life and just be there to hang out with them and spend time with them.
And Brandy, as I understand it, there are some efforts that are being made to educate people about what the commitments are. You've got, Mentoring Month coming up in January?
Right, January is Mentoring Month, so we'll be out in the community holding recruitment events and talking to people in the community about the commitment to Big Brothers.
So you have a scarcity of male Big Brothers to begin with, and then it's even worse in terms of Hispanic participation, right?
Yes, correct.
So what are you doing about that?
So what we're doing right now is we're doing different recruitment events. So we have a recruitment event going on this month, and then we're going to focus on recruitment events in January. And we're just trying to get the word out. We're reaching out to, we have a Bigs in Blue program that reaches out to police officers. We're also reaching out to the firefighting community. We're reaching out to fraternities at ASU and some of the other organizations. We're reaching out to male groups. We're also working with sporting teams and different organizations that attract men to try to reach out to their constituents to see if they can help us recruit men.
So the concern is time commitment, from what I understand. What do you tell them about that?
So the time commitment is minimal. Basically, it comes down to at least 4 to 5 hours a month, and you can certainly give much more time if you'd like. So we ask you to meet with your little brother or little sister, if you're a big sister. We ask you to meet with them 2 to 3 times a month for an hour, hour and a half, and just do the things that you like to do. So if you're the type of person who likes to hike on a Saturday, go pick up your little brother, little sister, take them hiking with you. If you like to take a cooking class, if you like to go to the movies, if you like to just eat pizza, we say it really doesn't take much, but it's just spending quality time with a child.
John Paul, we want to talk about some real life experiences that you've had with your little brothers. We're going to put a picture up on the screen of one of them. And this is you and this young man attending a football game. Oh, actually, this is the one with the map. But football games are some of the things that they like to do. Tell us about this young man.
I met him when he was 8 years old. I was at that time I was a lunch buddy Big Brother. So we met at his school for lunch, and we hung out for like an hour a day or an hour a week during his lunch. Played board games, went outside and played basketball. Just hung out at his school. We did that for about a year, and then we transferred into just one of our regular community-based matches where we hang out in the community. At that point, we started to go to Phoenix Suns basketball games, Cardinals games, playing football, and just kind of being real active outdoors, and just doing things that we both like to do together.
So Lunch Buddy is what, a sub-program that you have?
Right.
And how does that work?
Right. Lunch Buddy program is kind of the same. You meet 2 to 4 times a month, but at their school. And at this point, it's only 45 minutes to an hour, whatever time that they have for their lunch at school. And we try to target people that work near the schools. We have about 12 different schools right now in our program that are part of that program, where you can, if you work near there, live near there, you can meet them at school for lunch. You're limited to just hanging out at school with that kind of program.
So this would be the other program. The picture we've got on the screen right now is you with a different little brother,
Right.
attending a Cardinals game.
Right. So one of the benefits of being a big brother is we have a website for all of our mentors that they can go on to called it's called Think Big. And basically go on there, and there's a list of activities you can do with your little. So when we get tickets donated from the Cardinals or the Diamondbacks or the Phoenix Suns, or even NASCAR, whatever that match is into doing, they can usually find something on there. It's usually free that they're donated. So we got tickets from someone that donated to the Cardinals game. We went to the game and just hung out. And I've taken almost all my little brothers to Diamondbacks game, Cardinals and Suns game. And most of the time it was their first time attending each of those events. So it was nice to be able to introduce them to that.
Those little brothers grow up. That first picture we had of you, that young man is now aged out of the program.
He's now like 19 years old. Yeah, I graduated from high school, and he's going to school and working himself. Yeah.
Brandy, tell us about the profile and somewhat the criterion for a young boy to be part of the program.
For a young boy to be part of the program. So what we do is we go out and we work with schools, parents, and community organizations, other agencies, and they identify boys that could benefit from having a male positive role model in their life. Some of these kids come from single family homes. They've got a parent that's been incarcerated. Maybe they're living in a situation where they're living with an extended family member, a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or something like that, and they need that positive male role model in their life.
And the ideal entry age is 6 to 14, I
6 to 14. So we can take them as young as 6, and then they can enter into the program when they're 14, and then they age out of the program when they're 18. But we hear stories over and over again, like John Paul's story, where they keep in touch for years after they've aged out of the program.
John Paul, your stories about your relationships with your little brothers are inspiring. Why is it so difficult to get other men involved?
Like I said, I think they don't realize how easy it is to be a big brother. It's not that much of a time commitment. Everybody's busy. We all have jobs, or we're doing things with our lives, our families. But I think for me, once I became a big brother, I just knew that was something I was always going to be a part of, and it's been 11 years now. And so, whether I'm busy or not, I've always managed to squeeze that time into my personal life, and just create those relationships, those friendships with those kids.
And so for the next few months, you'll be working on getting that message out to prospective big brothers, and again, January, right?
January. And we have 300 children on our waiting list right now, and most of those are boys. And some of those kids will wait up to 2 years to get a big brother. And so we really want to be able to match them as soon as possible.
Well, I wish you both luck, and for your benefit, and actually, more importantly, the kids. Thank you for joining us on Horizonte.
Thanks for having us.
Year Up is a national group providing young adults with the skills, support, and experience to reach their potential through higher education and professional careers. The group brought its program to Arizona, and it's a chance to give young adults the skills they need to get a job. Joining me now to talk about the program is Kim Owens, Founding Executive Director for Year Up Arizona. Kim, welcome to Horizonte.
Thank you.
You guys just started in Arizona earlier this year. What brought Year Up to the state of Arizona?
While we've been around 15 years in the country, some of our nation's largest employers and our largest partners brought us here by demand and mentioned Arizona as a place that had a large demand of middle skills jobs that would align perfectly with our program. So American Express, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase suggested we come here, and here we are.
And we didn't plan it this way. I wish we had, but it's just a pure coincidence that the segment we had on Big Brothers Big Sisters, they're done at 18. That's when they age out. That's when you pick them up.
Absolutely. So there are so many great programs that start from grade school through high school and on, but they sort of stop at 18 years old, and that's where Year Up steps in and takes from 18 to 24-year-olds to pick up on the good work that's been already done by so many of our community organizations and high schools. Absolutely where we jump in.
And tell us what a typical experience would be for an 18-year-old.
Absolutely. So as the name implies, Year Up is a 12-month program. When you start the program, the first 6 months are in what we call learning and development. It's a training program where you learn professional skills like resume building, interviewing, elevator pitches, and then it moves into some of the technical skills as complex as Java programming, HTML, and some pretty complicated roles. So they learn those professional and technical skills in the first 6 months. If you complete that successfully, you're guaranteed an internship at a Fortune 500 company or an Arizona employer. So those 6-month internships are supervised. We provide a high support, high expectation throughout the program. And after 6 months, we find that success would lead to either a full-time career or a full-time enrollment back in school.
Those first 6 months, that's at the community college, right?
Yes, we partner with Gateway Community College, and their faculty actually teach a lot of our technical components of the program, like the Java and HTML, business communications, and things like that.
So what are the criteria? I assume they have to be high school graduates.
Yes.
What about eligibility for higher ed?
I should say high school graduate or GED. And we work through those obstacles, those barriers that might keep someone out of higher education. Sometimes, so when we talk about eligible, sometimes the only barrier could be a $50 bad debt from a student prior experience. It could be greater than that as well, but a barrier might be finances that they can't pay for their own education. A barrier might be that they just dropped out of school with a lower GPA. We work with Gateway and we re-enroll students and provide that support framework for their duration of the program.
And are there certain expectations for that first 6 months in terms of how they perform at the community college?
We have some academic guidelines in place that help support a student to success in the program. When they're done with the program, they'll end up with 30 college credits. That's halfway to an associate's degree, but they have to earn that by maintaining a C or better GPA and some academic integrity and issues throughout the program. We support a student throughout that process to help them get their academic requirements completed.
And then the next 6 months, the internship.
Yes.
So give us some examples of those.
We have internships. Right now, we have 30 interns placed around the valley with some of those organizations I mentioned. There's a high support model in place that says they'll meet regularly with their supervisor. They come back to Year Up, where we identify any trends in performance. Are we tending to be late? Are we missing days of work? Are we doing exceptional things well that we want to pass on and carry through to the entire group? So we monitor that experience and work closely with employers to help build the talent that we have in those internships.
Are these unpaid internships?
The students in our program will have a stipend paid to them through Year Up. So technically they're unpaid, but there is a small stipend to help them with living expenses as they're venturing in that 12-month journey.
What happens at the end of the year?
At the end of the year, which will be December, we'll graduate our first class. At the end of the year, we find and target the outcomes as follows. One would be within 4 months of completing the program, 85% of our students will go into full-time careers or
This is
full-time.
based on experience in other parts of the country?
Yeah, so thank you. What we find nationally and what we hold ourselves accountable to is at least 85% of the students that finish the program will land full-time career or full-time education within 4 months of completion. We look for salary guidelines. Our national average for salaries after completing the program is $16 an hour or $32,000 a year. We also measure satisfaction on employer satisfaction. So if we look at our base in our history so far, 90% of those employers that work with us say they would work with us again and they would tell a friend about Year Up. So it's a win-win-win.
So how do these students find you, these young adults, and also how do you find them?
So it's become a bit of a grassroots campaign for us. Ultimately, what we'll find is that 80% of the participants find us through word of mouth. That's about 3 years down the road. In the meanwhile, we're sort of a new and unproven entity in the Phoenix area. And so how we find students is building relationships and partnerships through community organizations, high schools, and we go actively recruit and have full-time outreach specialists who help us to find the students. We attend job fairs and education fairs and really try to create word-of-mouth campaign in a very small and grassroots effort.
And how many young adults do you have in the program right now?
Today we have a capacity for 120 young adults. We have 110 in the program right now.
And ultimately, what kind of capacity are you looking to have?
The sky's the limit. When we look at the population who could be served, Arizona alone has 93,000 opportunity youth, and that's the youth we described as unemployed and not currently enrolled in school. So we have a population of 93,000 young adults to serve here in the greater Phoenix area alone. Our only limits are those who are willing to engage and employ these interns. And to me, we shouldn't stop at, 200, 400 a year. There's a lot of work to be done here. It just requires a small community of support to do that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Horizonte to talk about this great program.
Thank you.
To find out more information about what's on Horizonte, go to azpbs.org and click on the Horizonte tab at the top of the screen. There you can access many features to become a more informed Horizonte viewer. Watch interviews by clicking on the video button or by scrolling down to the bottom of the page for the most recent segments. Learn about more specific topics like arts and culture and immigration. You can also find out what's on Horizonte for the upcoming week. If you would like an RSS feed, a podcast, or you want to buy a video, that's all on our website too. Other features include our collection of website links and a special page for educators. While you're there, show your support for Horizonte with just one click. Discover all that's on Horizonte. Visit azpbs.org, Horizonte today.
Inside scoop on what's happening at Arizona PBS. Become an 8 Insider. You'll receive weekly updates on the most anticipated upcoming programs and events. Get the 8 Insider delivered to your email inbox. Visit azpbs.org to sign up today.
Recently, there was a Latino Genealogy and Family Preservation of Archives workshop held where attendees were taught to trace their roots and preserve their family's history. Here to talk about the workshop is Nancy Godoy Powell, curator and librarian of Chicano-Chicana Research Collection at ASU. Nancy, welcome to Horizonte.
Thank you.
So you had this conference. How many people did you have going?
We had about 60 people.
And you talked both about how to trace your roots
Yes.
and then what to do with the artifacts that they may
Yes.
have. And on the first part, it's the 21st century. It's a lot easier to do. We've got a picture we're going to put up on the screen of somebody using one of these many databases that are available. And this was somebody using it, I think, at the conference, right?
Yes, at the workshop. We were using a few different databases, Ancestry.com and FamilySearch.org. And we were also showing the people how they could search archives. For example, archives like ours, which is the Chicano Research Collection. We've preserved Chicano Mexican American history in Arizona for 45 years. We're celebrating our 45th anniversary. So this workshop was a way to celebrate the history, the roots, and the culture. we're trying to basically engage the community, educate the community, and empower the community.
And what kind of reaction did you get from people like the gentleman here in the picture?
They were waiting for something like this. A lot of the times it's really hard for Latinos to do genealogy research. So when I actually provided the tools, people were so excited.
And part of it, I assume, is databases.
Yes.
And there's been some announcements about different databases that are available. You don't have to pay for all of this.
Yeah, so through Ancestry, you have a subscription. It's a monthly subscription. Family Search is actually free. So depending on what your style is when you're doing research, you can use either or.
So many of the people in the Valley would have their roots in Mexico and other parts of Latin America. Is it harder for them to do the kinds of research we're talking about?
Yes.
And is that because the databases just aren't there as they might be in the United States?
So a lot of the times you find that the documents archives are, for example, in my case, I was able to trace my family history back to the 1600s in Zacatecas, Mexico. And the reason I was able to do this was because a lot of the Catholic Church records from this period were actually digitized and put available on online.
Is that something that's happened in recent years?
Yes, yes. I would say within the last 10, 15 years.
And before that, it was just more going physical
if you
research?
wanted to do the research, you would probably have to go to Mexico or see if anyone had microfilm here in the archives.
And so was there anything else you told these people who attended the workshop in terms of just the researching part of this?
Was there, I'm sorry?
What are the kinds of things did you tell them about researching?
So when you're doing genealogy research, there's different pathways you can take. You can search for documents that pertain to census records, Catholic Church records, like I mentioned, so baptism records, death records, also border crossings. This is through the Mexican and United States government. So you can see when a family member crossed the border. I was able to find actually a documentation of my grandfather who crossed over the border to work in the Bracero program. So all these documents are out there. You just have to have the patience to actually do the research.
Now the picture we have on the screen is not your grandfather, but this does illustrate the other half of the workshop, which is how people should handle and treat their historic documents.
Yes, so I actually brought a little kit with me today, and this is something we gave out during the workshop, and it's a little starter kit for the community. We essentially provide material that will help the community start preserving.
You've got a brochure with instructions.
Yes, so the brochure has instructions, and it's written in English and Spanish, and we provide basically 4 tips, easy tips into archival, essentially it's archival theory. So step 1 would be actually do an inventory of what you have. A lot of the times people don't realize that they have these amazing things in their basements and their attics. So step 1 would be do an inventory of what you have. Step 2 would be start organizing the material. Have family members identify people in photographs. A lot of the times.
So a lot of it's communication.
Yes, communication.
I want to make sure we get to the gloves because we're going to run out of time. But you also have a Mylar, to protect photographs?
Yes, so we have gloves that you can use when you're working with photographs. Your fingers have oils that can damage photographs. And so we have Mylar that protects the images, and we also have folders and an archival box.
And we've got another picture we're going to put on the screen of somebody who's doing exactly what you say. They're using the gloves, and they're holding these magnificent photographs, actually. So once you've found the photographs, you handle them with the gloves, and then you put them in the Mylar folders?
Yes.
Other instructions about how to preserve these artifacts?
Especially in Arizona, try to find somewhere where the light isn't an issue, and then also find a controlled temperature. So we don't want something that's too hot or too cold or too humid. So something as easily as putting something in your closet would be a good idea, but also create copies so you can share with your family. So it's not just you're putting things away, you're trying to actively preserve it. And make this a family activity. Encourage the family to work on something like this together.
Well, it sounds like a real bonding experience
Yes.
as well.
I actually did this with my family.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for joining us on Horizonte to talk about it, and thanks for doing the workshop.
Thank you.
And that is our show for tonight. From all of us here at Horizonte and your Arizona PBS station, thank you for watching. I'm Jose Cardenas. Have a good evening.
Funding for Horizonte is made possible by contributions by the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station.